come to the bold analysis. Kenyans, from wherever you are, I want to say that the moment politicians will start playing with your emotions and actually blind you from logical reasoning, that's a tool they've been using. The moment you will really come out of emotional hostage, that is the moment things will change in this country. But if you're still going to be kept in some emotional hostage, things are not going to change. I'm talking about this in relation to a story that I was following Friday morning. Deputy President Rigathi was holding a joint interview with vernacular stations from Mount Kenya. Of course, I don't understand Kikuyu, but someone just sent to me a clip, the translation, telling me what Rigathi was saying there. And those who listen to that interview, gamers, can also help us confirm whether this was said. Rigathi, and I've also seen the star picking that story, Rigathi Gachagua is saying that he could not occupy the residence of the Deputy President in Karen because the room was leaking, the roof was leaking, water pipe was broken, and the house was just in a very bad shape. In fact, according to him, the official residence of the Deputy President was in a bad shape when I became the Deputy President. The rooftop was leaking and the borehole pump was broken down and the house was totally in a bad shape. According to Gachagua, the office of the Deputy President lacked funds and finances to facilitate maintenance. He is also saying that Ruto had to operate from one corner. Ruto and his family were allegedly forced to take shelter in one corner during his tenure as DP. Wangwana tuambieni ukweli. Wakenya si wajinga. No, we don't have deficit of... People are not stupid. Even if you want to lie, you never kuwa na kahekima kidogo, because you can't just lie blatantly. This is a big lie, and I want to tell you why this is a lie. Let's take, for example, let's just reason it this way. Do you know that at one point, the government wanted to renovate the residence of the then Deputy President William Ruto? And I remember him going to Ngong in launch of Kenya Kwanza manifesto. I think it was some manifesto or charter, and saying that their priority, the priority of the government, should not be on, renovating that residence, but about Kenyans.
I understand that we will have a new Deputy President in a couple of months after the next general election. But I also understand that he will be, or she will be for that matter, a Kenya Kwanza Deputy President. I'm very confident. And I want to tell the good people who want to assist us with the renovation that for Kenya Kwanza, renovating the residence of the Deputy President is not a priority. The priority is to sort out the hunger of the close to 3 million Kenyans who today are sleeping hungry. There are many people who are obsessed with positions and with eulogies about leaders. I want to persuade them for a difference, that please, we have 3 million Kenyans today facing starvation.
Now that one is William Ruto declining that renovation should not be done. Let's not even go there. Ruto is not a hustler. the president, even by that time he was a deputy president, he has the money. Do you want to convince Kenyans that if his house he's living in is leaking and allegedly government has refused to go and renovate, unataka kuniambia haezi leta fundi yeye mwenyewe atengeneze nyumba kama naishi hapo? Rigathi hapo mtudanganya bwana. No. Hapo no. Rigathi no. Hapana. You want to tell me Ruto cannot take his money na kama ni nyumba imeharibika, instead of, trying to lie that, and that residence is where the politics, UDA politics were being done. All those leaders were meeting there, and they were meeting there every time. The political machinery, William Ruto's political base was current residence. People even complaining about how it was going. And look at this photo. This is the residence. In your building. Your nyumba ni kubwa. That house is big. So even you coming out to say that the house was leaking and so it could not be used, Number one, repairs is not done by funds from the office of the deputy president. No. The repair is done by the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. That maintenance of all government structures. So if you want to say that, then ask me, who renovates Treasury? Who renovates other offices, other establishments? And I remember when that story came out, the people that wanted to renovate it were government. Now, the same government even constructed the deputy president residence in Mombasa that Ruto was supposed to occupy. So was that house, was that structure built from funds from the office of the deputy president? And the lie keeps on repeating. And that's why I say, I think the public must separate uongo na ukweli. That's equally important. Otherwise, there is what is being packaged here as just trying to dangle emotions here and there. Instead, I agree with Roslyn Akombe. Roslyn Akombe once said that, wa Kenya, nyinyi ninawashangaa sana. Instead of investigating real death that you saw, the death of Musando, you are investigating imaginary death. And she was responding to that of, killing Chebukati. So, I think instead of selling this strategy of selling cooked imaginary sympathy theories, while Kenyans are grappling with real problems, is the greatest height of political conmanship. That's it. There is no better word to say it. There are people that have real problems of leaking houses. And that interview is meant, that interview, Rigathi is telling Mount Kenya that Ruto aliteso, and I'm like, I've just been wondering, even if you keep on saying Ruto was intimidated, this and that one done, how does that help now? Because that was a political narrative that propelled you to power. You've got power. All those things you are saying that you went through, Ndindi Nyoro once said that maybe you went through those things to become president. Now, it is time that you are now in power. And you're now enjoying all those privileges that you are crying out that will retire soul for you here. So, how do people still look at you? Even if you go and tell a voter in Nyeri, in Kirinyaga, that Uhuru Kenyatta maybe harassed you, mistreated you, the voter will ask you, so what? How does it help me? In fact, I think it's about time the public should start asking. All these emotions that is being hawked here, the imaginary emotions that the leaders are hawking, how are they solving your problem? How will that address the cost of living? And that is why I say that I think in political observers, I have seen critics saying that Raila Odinga have been at the helm of Nyanza politics for long because of this. And that has really been hope. But I can tell you that the one for Mount Kenya will even be worse. I'm afraid the one for Mount Kenya will even be worse. Because at the end of the day, people seem not to make the right choice as far as things are concerned because of emotions. For how long will Mount Kenya be told about Uhuru mistreated William Ruto? You know, for how long will that help? And is that going to help your problems? You need to start asking yourself very tough questions. For how long are you going to be told about Uhuru Ruto? Every interview. And that interview was in vernacular. So I'm wondering, you know, and you're lied to. They were staying in some corner. Kona gani? Kwani hana pesa atengeneze? Kama gava ilikata kutengeneza. Cheni hizo. Now, kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and click and support our channel. There is a plan to demonize Uhuru Kenyatta, but this is unnecessary. You know, this is unnecessary. Someone should, I think these people that are political hunters should just say, this issue of blaming Uhuru, that thing is unnecessary. It's not potent. It's now, you know, it has reached a plateau. It's not new. It's a tired line, other people will tell you. It's a very tired strategy that, you know, you cannot sell it in 2027. In 2027, you need to tell people what you've done. You will not tell people that Uhuru aliacha economy. So, even if you get it, even after 5 years, you'll still be complaining about Uhuru. Now, the mountain is being held, is in some emotional hostage. That's it. Mount Kenya is in some emotional hostage. And I can say that it's a very delicate space because the people can get tired. They will get tired of Uhuru stories. You are selling emotions, telling them that, no, you see now this president we have and us here, tuliteswa, we are now like you. But now people know that you are in power. Yes, people know you're the deputy president, people know you're the president. And you're putting them to that emotional hostage so that, number one, they will not reason about, okay, what was the plan? What was supposed to be done? You need to, those are the questions that we need to start asking. What was supposed to be done? Not on how Uhuru mistreated who and treated another person. So, Project Tutu as hustler like them is an insult. We've always said that was a political narrative to win the vote, to win the election. Ruto is not a hustler. So as much as you want to make it look like the way someone's house is leaking in a village there in the middle of Laikipia there is no rain, so I think it's not even, the leak is not even a viable question there. Where is raining? Where is a place where there rains? There's another place to saying there rains. Yeah, Trans Nzoia rains are back. So the way there is someone's house leaking in Trans Nzoia, you want to make that person listen to you and think like even Ruto's house was leaking, which is a white lie. To predict Ruto as a hustler, he's not. He is not. Now we are lacking tangible track record since we had a slow start. If you ask me, if there is something that was a priority to President William Ruto was to give jobs to friends and political cronies so that they can be in a strategic positions to campaign for his 2027. That has been packaged as community appointees. Those people are not community appointees. The only one thing that Ruto is doing is giving jobs to friends, political friends, and people who are supposed to be political strategists. I just ask her. So Nicholas Odero Gumbo, my governor to be at some point, has been appointed as CS Roads and Infrastructure. I'm waiting to see how many roads he's going to construct in Siaya. Evans Odhiambo Kidero has been given that job. I'm waiting for something he's going to deputize Moses Kuri. I'm waiting for what he's going to do there. and so on. I'm looking for Outa. I'm looking for what Millicent Obanga will do in the space of Mtaani, now that she's CS in terms of interior. Those people have been given jobs not because of, the political friends, and they've been projected as community appointees. That's why I say Kenyans must wake up from the emotional hostage. You're being put in some hostage so that you don't have logical reasoning. You need to start asking that whereas they are parading people as our community, what have they done for the community, if not for their families and themselves? That's the reality. We need to come out of that emotional hostage so that you reason. The moment you stop looking at a leader as one of our own. You stop looking at a leader as from my community. That is the wake-up moment that this country needs. Otherwise, the lie will continue and we'll just spiral around our problems. So that's my take on this, and I believe that the whole lie, and there's an interview, I had a story about the office was not funded for 4 years, and so Ruto used to pay electricity bill and pay allowances for the workers. I don't know, So someone wants to lie to you that Ruto used to buy fuel with his own money. Remember during campaigns, there's Mio team, the team that were in government were telling President Ruto that the resident you're using is government's residence. The fuel is paid by government. Everything you're using, your cars are fueled by government. But then you are again attacking the same government. If Ruto, if the privileges had been withdrawn, then what would it be? If the privileges would have been withdrawn, they would have said